So the race got underway, and it was the Cup cars, the single mate cars that dominated. We thought it would be a Lamborghini leading into turn one. Andreas Bog Sorensen had other ideas. A brilliant launch followed by a very audacious run into the first corner. Look at Bog Sorensen. To the inside, to the outside. He knew he'd got a good launch. He wanted to use it, and he claimed the lead over Jerzy Spinkovics into the first turn. Side by side between Severin Mazur and Dexter Muller further back in third position. That battle, of course, would continue on later in the race, but it was the Ferrari leading the way. Andreas Bog Sorensen in the early stages. Przemysław Bienkowski having a spin at turn two, but he would eventually rejoin the race. He got himself going without issue. There is Bienkowski back underway. Meanwhile, at the front, it was Jerzy Spinkovics leading, and it was a GT3 battle, bizarrely, outside of the overall top three. Dexter Muller ahead of Kenneth Heyer in a very interesting battle for fourth place. Some great scrapping further back as well among the Ferrari Challenge, the 296s, the fabulous, of course, 296 Challenge cars, which debuted last year in Ferrari Challenge competition. And it was one of those at the front as Jerzy Spinkovics slowed down. Jerzy got back past Andreas Bog Sorensen, led the way, started getting away, and then it seemed as though the car had an issue. And if you watch here, the car at the rear vibrating heavily, seemingly suggesting that it was hitting the rev limiter. We suspect gearbox issues on the 25, stopping Jerzy Spinkovics from claiming a win in his first ever race in the GT Winter Series. The Lamborghini Super Trofeo competitor from last year, unfortunately not getting the start to 2025 that we thought he might have. Again, seeing some stuff here that we didn't see live in the broadcast. Some exciting action between the Ferraris. The number 50 car here, being driven by Cristiano Maciel. He was pressuring Alvaro Ramos. Arroyo Competición running the yellow and red Ferrari, the all-red AF Corsa Ferrari running behind him, as these guys had a good scrap all of their own. Of course, it was all kicking off at the front of the field. Andreas Bog Sorensen was back into the lead, but Severin Mazur got a great run out of the final corner, claimed the lead at turn one, and then Dexter Muller almost snuck through into second overall. However, there was contact between them, as you saw there. Dexter Muller and Andreas Bog Sorensen meeting in the middle. We did miss a barn burner by the looks of it for second in Cup 1, didn't we? Ramos finally losing out there to Cristiano Maciel in what was a very exciting battle, and it would be Maciel ultimately in second in Cup 1, while of course the class leader was involved in this dispute for overall glory. By this time, Andreas Bog Sorensen in third place, looking to hold off Kenneth Heyer, and Kenneth Heyer would shortly become rather frustrated as he tried to continue moving forward in the order. No such issues for Severin Mazur, however, he did have to put the hammer down because just behind him was Dexter Muller, who at points looked like he might close in and challenge for the win. Ultimately, that would prove not to be the case. Heyer was so much faster through the long corners, and that finally resulted in this moment as Kenneth Heyer just tapped the rear of the Ferrari, then got through at turn 3, having just got past and then losing it on the main straight. He got through into third position definitively, but then the Mercedes would start to slow down. Nightmare for Kenneth Heyer, the defending champion, going past a stricken 32 car there, perhaps not realising that he would soon be stricken in his own right. The Mercedes running in third place. However, his car would trundle to a halt at the end of the race. Just towards the end of the race, and unfortunately, he would not see the checkered flag. Towards the rear of the field, some of the other Cup 4 Lamborghinis were just getting to the flag, but for Kenneth Heyer, he would not achieve the same feat, losing out on third place right at the end of the race. Andreas Bog Sorensen would ultimately finish on the podium after a lion's battle of a race. brilliant action from Andreas all race long. And as much as Kenneth Hyatt didn't deserve to end his race in the pits, I'd say Andreas maybe deserved that third overall. It was, though, a victory for the number 79. Severin Mazur has taken the win. GT3 Poland, for the second year in a row, starts off the 2025 GT Winter Series with an overall victory as well as Cup 4 glory. Congratulations also to GT3 winner Dexter Muller, second overall. Cup 1 winner, third overall, Andreas Bug Sorensen, and of course fourth overall, Cup 2 winner Leandro Martins. What a race to kick off the 2025 GT Winter Series. Fun times for sure in the GT Winter Series on that occasion. Here's the order in full. Severin Mazur, if he'd had a few more laps, I think he might have had Dexter Muller behind him directly, but Dexter finishes a close second to win GT3. Andreas Bug Sorensen takes third overall. Fourth position, Leandro Martins. Alfredo Hernandez, second in GT3 and fifth overall. Cristiano Maciel, after a great battle that we saw there in those highlights with Alvaro Ramos, he finishes sixth and second among the Ferraris. Man Stalin in seventh place. Joachim Bolting of Plusline Racing Team in eighth. Alvaro Ramos ninth. Kenneth Hyatt classified 10th, but he will be disappointed with how his race panned out. Oscar Rinzovic in his first race, I should say Rinzovic in his first race, having a good time out there on the track, I'm sure. Przemysław Bienkowski in 12th, Biatovic in 13th, and Jerzy Spinkovic unfortunately ending his race in the pit lane with problems early in the race for the driver who looked like a winner at one stage.